everybody, and welcome.
When the night
Hello,
has
and welcome to
come
the FGs and Threes podcast.
and the land
Number
is
5.
dark and the
Ooga
moon
chaka, ooga
the
ooga.
only light we'll see.
I can't
All right,
stop this
all right.
feeling.
So this week,
Deep inside
I'm going right into
of
it, guys.
me.
We're not. We're going full steam ahead.
We're
We're going right into it.
What you
So this
do to
week
me.
we're talking about we got NBA today, and we're going to talk about we're going to start off with last night. Today's the 8th of April, and we saw the Suns and Jazz face off in an intense matchup, and the Suns came out on top. You know, we're thinking, is this a preview of the Western Conference Finals, or is something else?
Nope.
Is there going to be a whole shakeup in the top couple teams?
Nope.
Are you talking to us about that being the Western Conference Finals?
You never know. 2 top teams right there.
I mean, they are 2 top teams, but
yeah, exactly.
There's 4
a
teams
couple
in the
more
West.
teams in the West.
Yeah, there's 4 teams in the West better than the Jazz.
Hey, all right, go ahead.
All right, first, the Clippers. My champion this year. I think they're going to win the whole thing, if not Brooklyn. If it's not Brooklyn, I think that's going to be the matchup. I think the Clippers go, and I think they face Brooklyn. Number 2, the Lakers. Still can't count them out. They're going to come in as a 6 seed and upset whoever the 3 seed is, or whoever the 2 seed, or the 1 seed. Doesn't matter. They're making it to the second round. They have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. All right? Number 3, the Suns. We just saw them beat the Jazz, and they have a go-to scorer down the clutch. They have a go-to playmaker who can rally the troops. They have a young and upcoming big man. They have Bridges, who's a 3-and-D player. Cam Johnson, who's a 3-and-D player. Jay Crowder, 3-and-D player. They're very well put together.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, the Nuggets. Have you seen Aaron Gordon ever since playing? Turned off his camera.
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon is playing, and he's saying this is the easiest basketball he's ever played. He's literally just back cutting, and Jokic is just throwing it to him, and he's dunking every other play.
It's a perfect
fit.
spot for
I
him.
really underestimated how good of a fit it would be, because I was expecting him to be more of like a 3-and-D player where he's shooting threes on the outside. No, they have him cutting, and he's just getting layup after dunk and layup after dunk, and just real easy. So those are my 4 teams that are better than the Jazz.
I agree, but it's
And disagree.
It's the
I agree and
Jazz.
disagree,
I mean,
because the Jazz.
So who are you
even against some of
Jazz.
those teams, they just can't be stopped. They've been playing great all season. They've been playing great
out
ball.
of those 4 teams, though, who is the Jazz beating in a 7-game series?
In a 7-game.
In a 7-game series,
I say they at least take the Lakers to 7. I don't think it's going to be a sweep.
They don't have
against
the best
those
player.
4 teams. They're at least taking them to 6 games. It's not going to. There's going to be no sweeps in there.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that. Like, they're a really good team. In the East, they'd be a top 3 team too. Like, they'd be right there with like the Bucks and Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're really good like that. But they're just not good enough. They're in the second tier, even though they're winning. That's not a team that's going to translate to the playoffs. They're starching the Nets. They're shooting like 40% from 3. They're putting up, I think it was 25 threes a game they average, which is like a league record. It's unbelievable. I don't see that transferring when like everyone's, running around on defense and stuff in the playoffs where everything is amped up. I don't see them getting those open looks like that, because as good as Donovan Mitchell is he better than Kawhi Leonard?
No, but you got to look at it.
Is he going to be
matched up against Kawhi Leonard?
Is he better than LeBron?
They're not going to be. Donovan Mitchell's not going to be matched up against these people. He's going to be matched up against whoever the shooting guard is, and that's going to be who he's going up against.
Dude, are we sure he's even better than Devin Booker? Would you take Booker or would you take Mitchell?
I'd put them on the same level. I wouldn't put any I'd put them at the same level. They're both star players. I don't think any of them.
You could have an argument either way. You could have an argument either way, and it really could go either way. So out of those 4 teams, maybe the Suns, he's the best player in the series. Maybe. If Chris Paul isn't better than him too. So 3 of those teams for sure, Jokic, LeBron, and Kawhi are all better than him. So they don't have the best player in the series. And what you see in
Well,
the
it
NBA
depends. It
is when you
it
have a
doesn't matter
top
who has the
5,
best player in the series because you're also going to have Gobert taking you're going to have him to go against any
yeah,
big
but
man,
dude, if you look,
makes me think they have a better chance against the Lakers because they'll at
no,
least have
AD would
Gobert
cook.
on AD.
AD
Yeah.
would cook Gobert. Gobert's an
AD
off.
would come out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gobert is an off ball defender where kind of like how Giannis won it last year. Same thing. He'll come from the weak side and block him. He's not a guy who's like when you go directly at him, he's not going to stop an Embiid, a Jokic, an AD, a Bam, a Vucevic. These guys that can.
Well, I feel like the
pound
Lakers
rock.
aren't really a 3-point oriented team. They're more of a driving kind of team. And I feel like Gobert would be good against that kind of offense.
I guess so, but man, I'll tell you, I think in AD also he's a great lob threat. So if Gobert goes to block LeBron or whoever's driving, then they throw a lob to AD. AD's one of the best lob threats in the league, if not the best.
Well, it depends where they lob it from.
I
If he
think
goes in and lobs it, Gobert can disrupt
Lakers
any
beat him in
lob
5.
near the net. If it's a little farther out, they'd be able to probably get it. But if it's near the net, I think the paint will be pretty covered if Gobert plays his off-ball defense like he usually does in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I'm
Paint will
not for
be
sure.
basically covered.
Gobert
So
is a
they're gonna
great
have
off-ball
teams that
defender.
like to drive are gonna have a harder time against the Jazz than shooting teams like the Suns.
Okay, that's
And
that's
even
a fair
then, I
point,
think.
but-
Well, here's the thing with the Suns. I think the inexperience of being in the playoffs doesn't help the Suns. I mean, yes, they have Chris Paul and Jay
Yeah, I was about to
Crowder,
say that
Yeah.
because they're gonna have they have a
But
leader now that
one-
they didn't have before going into the playoffs.
but the thing with Chris Paul, yes, he's a veteran. He's been in the playoffs, but he hasn't won in the playoffs.
Oh my!
The best he
don't
got.
give me
That doesn't
Don't give
really
me
matter
that.
because he has the playoffs experience.
Dude, don't
And he's
give me
won
that,
plenty of
all
games in
right?
the playoffs, even if he hasn't
But
made
you
the
know who
finals
doesn't have
yet.
playoff
He's won
experience?
plenty.
Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Johnston, Bridges. Do I go on? Cameron Payne. I mean, all of these other
Cameron
guys,
Payne
and
has
especially the
playoff
head coach.
experience. Cameron
Monty
Payne
Williams
has
is
playoff
not.
experience. You're wrong. Cameron Payne was in the playoffs with OKC.
Yeah, but he barely played.
He played backup point guard to Russ, but he played. He knows the atmosphere. He knows what it takes.
Because
That's-
the CP3 took the Thunder to the playoffs, and I think he'll do the same exact thing with the Suns, and it'll still give them the playoff experience that they need. They don't even need to play a playoff game to have the playoff experience because they have Chris Paul, and he'll be able to teach them. He'll be able to acclimate them incredibly quickly
exactly
to the playoff atmosphere. But I sort of see what you mean, but I think CP3 will be able to lead them. He'll be their leader. Whether or not
I trust
he'll be the leader
Jazz
that they need.
more. I trust the Jazz more in a 7-game series against the Suns than I do, the Suns. And now the other teams, the
Suns 10
Nuggets.
times out of 10.
No, the thing with the
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
I don't
if
see the
it's
Jazz
Nuggets,
overtaking the Nuggets.
I don't. No,
The Nuggets
we
just
saw
have too
last
many
year,
big
They almost
pieces
did. They
on their.
almost did.
They almost
just
did. I see
couldn't-
them taking to maybe like 6
Well,
games, but I think the Nuggets will come out on
No,
top.
I see that being a 7-game series, but
Yeah.
again, I see the Nuggets just finishing out, especially with how Michael Porter has progressed. I mean,
He's playing.
in the last
he's
16
playing at like
games,
an all-star like level recently.
in the
So
last 16 games, let me pull up the stat real quick. Just give me one
Actually,
second.
thinking about it, who would they end up putting on Donovan Mitchell if he's starting at shooting guard? Because they traded away Gary Harris. Are they going to move Michael Porter down to shooting guard and put I think an Aaron
Michael
Gordon
Porter's
at
still
small
small.
forward
They
and
got,
then put someone else at power forward? Who would they have covering Mitchell?
well,
Would they move Jamal
probably
or
Michael
Murray.
Porter.
Well, they had
Probably
Murray guarding
Murray
him
or-
last year.
They had him at shooting guard last year?
Though they had Murray guarding him last year when they faced each other in 7.
Okay, so they
And-
okay.
Yeah,
So
so
they'd probably
probably the
switch
same
off.
thing. But it's about playing team defense. It's not always about the because Mitchell's he's a good ISO scorer, but he's not gonna like break you down and then like dance on you.
It's not going to happen too often. It's not. There's not going to be that much
saying.
iso.
Like he's a
'Cause
team. He's more of like a point guard as a shooting guard, much like
both the
likes of,
Jazz
like
and the Nuggets are very teamwork oriented teams. It's not like the Nets
Yes.
where you have like 3 stars taking care of everything. They
Right.
have like a system going on, almost like the early
Spurs.
2010 Spurs and like the late
Yeah.
2000 Spurs. They have a system that goes on. Everybody plays their part and they play it flawlessly. So it's going to be a very
Here, I
interesting
got
matchup seeing those two teams go against each other with 2 different systems, like at full steam.
Well, the Nuggets system, it's a Jokic system,
Mhm.
basically. It's the team is Jokic. Whatever he does, the team goes through him.
Yeah.
Um,
Jokic is the because in that case,
but Jokic is that good. He can stand in the middle and he can either drive, he can fade, he can pass the ball out, just get the rotation going. I mean, he does everything for that team.
yeah.
If you
Because the
look
Nuggets,
statistically,
they still
he's
have a
top
system.
3 in
It's just that the
everything.
system goes around Jokic.
Yeah,
Right.
Jokic is top 3 in every statistical category for the Nuggets this year.
Yeah.
That's it basically. Like if we're gonna talk MVP, yes, the MVP this year has been scurried from Embiid to LeBron to Curry to KD, Harden. I mean,
It's
a lot of
Embiid.
people have been thrown out there. It to me, well, everyone's got injured except for Jokic, and Jokic, like I just said, is top 3 in every statistical category for his team.
Mm-hmm.
That's
have
the
a top 2
definition of
record?
MVP.
Are the
He-
Nuggets top 2 in the
He's
conference?
working on it. He's working
They're
on it.
getting there.
Hey,
They're,
Yeah.
they're, they're still
got
high
it.
up.
Russell Westbrook won it at a 6 seed.
He's the
because he averaged a
outlier,
triple
though.
double.
He's the outlier. He's the outlier. There's only
Alex,
been one
The
person.
NBA is changing. The NBA
There's
is
only
changing.
Brian. There's
Uh-huh.
only been one person that's ever won it that didn't have a top 2 seed team on either the East or the West, and that's
If
Russell
the
Westbrook.
Nuggets can get to the
Since
3 seed,
1980.
I think. If the Nuggets can get to the 3 seed, I think they give it to Jokic. I think he
Because
fully
we
deserves
see the
it.
records in the West
they-
this year.
They're
They're
gonna give
all
it to
very
Embiid.
high. So
They're
I
gonna
think
give
even
it
like
to
the
Embiid.
3 or 4 seed, I think Jokic can get it because it depends on the record. They can be the 4 seed and still have, like
If they can get the 50
50 win
wins, which
season.
I think is very possible for this Nuggets team, if they can get the 50 wins, which is very possible,
Yeah.
then I can see them giving Jokic the MVP. But
It's
anyway, back
different in the
to
West this year.
my Michael Porter stat. He scored over 15 points with 50% shooting in 16 straight games. He's heating up at the right time, Michael Porter Jr. He's the third piece that I've been talking about that they need. They have Jamal Murray, who we know is an up and down player, but when he's on, he can score at will from anywhere. Michael Porter Jr., like I just said, he's shooting 50% and scoring 15 plus points. Those additional 15 points is going to be very helpful in the playoffs. You have Aaron Gordon. We've seen him guard the big man this year. Him and Jokic down low can guard whoever. This Nuggets team is not being talked about right now, but is a scary team. Aaron Gordon helped this team. He was 13th in defensive rating in the season, and then he got traded to the Nuggets, who have not been a defensive team until, Aaron Gordon showed up. Now
The Suns have something that not a lot of people talk about. The Suns have height, especially since they got Aaron Gordon. You have Michael Porter Jr., who's like 6'9". Then you have Aaron Gordon, who's I think 6'10". And then you have Jokic, who's a 7'1" guy. They have height from the 3 to the 5. And if they move Porter down to shooting guard, they're going to have even more height. They have a very tall team that will be able to take care of smaller defenses or smaller offenses.
I think realistically, there's 6 teams in the West that can come out. Yes, 6? I'm going to include the Trail. I think I'm going to include the Trailblazers because Damian Lillard is a different breed. I mean,
they always, no matter what, they always end up being the surprise. You never think they're going to go through, but they always at least make it to the second round.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't see it this year.
That always happens.
I don't see it this year. If they don't get a higher seed, I don't see it.
Listen.
You see them beat the Suns?
They don't. Yes, I can.
Oh my! How about the Nuggets?
They don't
you see them beat the Nuggets?
I mean, they have a high scoring offense. That's what usually takes
They
them
have a
to
very
the
high
top
scoring offense.
with Dame and
what?
CJ.
I could see them maybe beating the Jazz and maybe the Nuggets, but
I
not
can't
the
see them.
Lakers, Clippers, or Suns.
I can't see them beating the Nuggets. I can see them beating the Lakers.
Well, I only see them beating potentially the Nuggets
Because I don't-
because Lillard is better than Jokic, and like you have the best
Well,
player
I
in the series.
don't see them beating the Nuggets again because it's like size oriented, and you have two guards, like two great guards versus three great big men on either
And
side.
I think they put Michael Porter Jr. on Dame.
Oh, Dame would cook him. Dame would
On
drive to
Dame.
the lane.
So you
every
think they're
single
gonna put him
time.
at right at point guard? You're just gonna go with like a tall ball kind of lineup?
No. Mike still plays the three. They're just gonna switch him on the Dame.
They're just gonna switch him off.
Either him or Murray. I mean, they're gonna. I'm trying to think who they got on their team. They have. I mean, Campazzo's just too small. He's not gonna play. You could put Murray on Dame, but
With a nugget,
you better hope Murray. If Lillard scores 40, Murray better score 40.
Yeah, I think
That's-
personally with
But Michael
my thing
Porter
with the
Jr.
Nuggets,
The reason why I put Michael Porter Jr. on Dame.
they have Monte
is
Morris.
because
They have Monte
Monte
Morris,
Morris,
Will
yeah.
Barton.
That's not
That's who they have them for
defensively. That's not
guards.
gonna help.
so ESPN released their top 25 players under 25.
And what a doozy.
Yeah, as
You
you,
know, I didn't like it because there's no white people.
Luca's the first
yeah,
person.
Luka's the top guy. What are you talking about? Jesus. Anyways, let me just like. So, anyways, it was pretty controversial to say the least. I guess you could say. I mean,
Yeah, some
De'Aaron
questionable
Fox,
choices definitely in there.
yeah, De'Aaron Fox, number 5, ahead of Jason Tatum, or no, number 6, ahead of Bam, Jaylen Brown, Ingram. It's
Yeah.
just a complete like dumpster.
Well, I
fire.
see how you can make a case for De'Aaron Fox because he's been the starting guard for the Kings. He's been leading the Kings. He's done a lot for the Kings, so I could definitely see his argument for being a top 10.
Is he better
De'Aaron
than
Fox in
Booker?
the last 10 games for the Kings is averaging 32 and 8.
Okay, but is he better than Booker, Brown, Ingram, Bam, even Simmons?
Honestly, I think
I
he
would
should have been
take
a
him
little
over
lower
Simmons.
down in the top 10, but I
Well,
think he
I-
should still be top 10.
Let me
Yeah,
finish.
he's top 10, but
I think Booker should have definitely been
So we
ahead of
talked
him.
about this earlier in this week. So I took the duty making my own list.
Okay.
what are you doing?
I can't drink
Hydrating.
water.
let's hear your list.
So I'll say my list. It's 1 through 25. This so
Just do the top 10. Nobody cares.
Yeah, stick to the top 10. We'll see.
So
And,
number one's Luka.
say people like at the end that you left out of the top 10 and that might belong in there.
Okay, so number 1's Luka.
Mhm.
Number 2 is Booker. Number 3 is Fox. Number 4 is Zion. Number 5 is Adebayo. Number 6 is Tatum. Number 7 is Mitchell. Number 8 is Brown. Number 9 is Ingram. And number 10 is LaMelo Ball. Some people I have left out: Ben Simmons, John Morant, and Jamal Murray.
All right.
Also
I-
Trae
I-
Young. And that's about it.
I do like that Bam is higher because he doesn't get it nearly as
He's
much.
not a
recognition
top
as he
5
should.
player under 25. Are you kidding
He
me?
doesn't get nearly as much as recognition.
Are
because
you?
He's an
All I'm
offensive
saying-
force
all
and
I'm
a defensive
saying, you know
force.
why
He
I
can
have
do
Bam
a little bit
above
of
Tatum and
everything
Brown?
everywhere.
Because he went to the finals.
That's all I have.
Who hasn't been to the finals? Tatum and Brown. Who
There he
has been
goes
to the
again.
finals?
There he goes again.
That's all I have to say.
I mean, you have a point there. Adebayo was crucial in their finals in the Heat's finals appearance last
He
year.
is still their number
crucial.
2. Yes, they.
So crucial that they won 2 games without him.
They still made it to the finals.
So
He helped
crucial
them to
that
the
they
finals.
won
There's
2
How about
games
that
in the
block, game 2
finals
against Jason
without him.
Tatum? That poster block. He blocked Tatum game 2 to seal the win for the Miami Heat.
Game 1 in
he
OT.
remembers.
Okay, so game 1.
Yeah, I'm a Celtics fan. Don't try and play with me, buddy.
You remember. That's etched into your memory. That was one of the top plays of the playoffs right there. That was a huge
Oh
block.
yeah, for sure. Trust me, I gained a lot of respect for Adebayo watching him against the Celtics. Still, I'm taking Tatum and Brown over him. I'm taking Luka over him. I'm taking Ingram and Zion over him. I'm taking Fox over him. He's probably about 8 or 10, right between there. I'm taking Booker over him.
Well,
I'd
yeah,
say
I
he's
have
at
Booker
least
too.
he's at least top 10. I would not take Ingram.
I'm taking
over
Mitchell
him.
over him.
I wouldn't take Ingram over him. I wouldn't take Brown.
I do have
over him.
Mitchell
Sorry.
over Brown.
I wouldn't take Brown
You know-
over him.
Well, Alex, here's the thing. You think Jaylen Brown's the next LeBron for some reason.
I don't think that. That's not true at all.
Okay,
It's
so what
the
do you think Jaylen
Celtics
Brown
fan
is?
bias. I understand it.
It's not a
definitely
Celtics
understand.
fan bias. He's like a top 5 young player in the league.
Okay, so Celtics fan bias.
Luka, Tatum, Brown, like Luka and Tatum are on a different level. Brown is literally like 1B to Tatum. If you watch the Celtics, he's
No, I'd say the top
there's
5.
nights
There's
where he's the
Luka.
best player. There's not like last night.
Tatum,
He was the best player on the
Donovan.
floor.
I think Brown this season has played better than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, yes, he still puts up his stats, but the efficiency he puts them in, it's not as good as they have been in years past. But I do have to
He's
account
more
for years
efficient
past.
this year with a higher usage rate.
Okay.
Everything
Well,
you just said is
from
wrong.
from what I've seen, I'm not impressed with Tatum this year.
He's
Jaylen
been
Brown has impressed me more this year than Jason Tatum.
Tatum has been inconsistent to say the least. He's had big games and then he's had games where he's just hasn't done anything at all.
Yeah,
While
ever
Brown
since
has been
COVID,
consistent
yeah.
throughout the year. I
Ever
think that's
since
what Ryan
COVID.
is saying, like where he's playing better than Tatum this year is every game he's putting up good numbers while Tatum is being on and off every other night. That's
Yeah.
what I'm seeing.
It seems like
Yeah. Adebayo has been consistent all year. That's
he's
why
not better than Tatum or Brown. He's not better than Luka. He's not better than Fox. He's not better than Mitchell. He's not better than Booker. He's not better than Zion. He's not better than Ingram.
let me look at his stats real quick.
I'd put Bam over Ingram, at least. I'd
wouldn't.
put Bam over Ingram.
I wouldn't.
Bam is averaging 19, 9.5, so we'll go 10. So 19, 10, and 5. 5.5.
Really good player. You know?
Yeah.
Like
For
really
a
good player.
third-year center, that's really good.
What's he averaging for blocks? What are some of his defensive? Because you have a lot of the times people just like solely base their skill off of the scoring aspect. Like people see Zion averaging like 25
blocks
or
doesn't
more a
also
game,
mean everything,
and they
'cause
put
you could
they
get-
put him at the top because they see the scoring.
Listen,
But
Hassan
gotta put
Whiteside.
the
Hassan
defensive
Whiteside
rating.
gets blocks all the
He-
time, dude.
He's
Hassan-
also improved his free throw percentage by 12 points. His career average was around 71%. This year, he has brought it up to 82%.
That's
Good.
pretty good.
That's really good. Still not
That's
a top
very
5
good.
young player.
He's averaging 1 steal and 1 block per game.
Very nice. Still not a top 5 young player. Still not top 10. He's
Oh,
probably
no,
10.
I'd put him in top 10, easy.
I'd put him like number 10, maybe.
I'd say like 8 or somewhere around there. Because I honestly
fair.
think he's
What
better than
does-
Ingram.
Well,
Yeah,
from
but,
what I see from Adebayo, I'm just throwing out stats now.
Oh yeah,
But
from all the Heat games that you watched, that you've seen Adebayo.
I do enjoy watching Heat games. I am a big fan of Jimmy Butler. We all
Yeah, I love Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler is a
He's a
star.
dog.
If Jimmy Butler had all stars, he would be a top 10 player in the league right now.
It
But
does
he doesn't have
all-stars.
the all stars. He doesn't. He's one.
He doesn't have one.
He's
Emma's
one,
an
maybe
all-star.
two.
He's
I
like
think he
5.
has maybe 2.
He's
No, he
like
doesn't.
5.
Look it up. Okay, then I'll look it up right now. Give me uno momento.
He has
So
at
look
least
this up.
3. He has at least 3, maybe 5.
Jimmy Butler.
Why are we
All-Stars.
searching up this stuff while we're on a Jesus?
Okay, so he's a 5-time All-Star. Yes.
Yeah. What did I tell you? Everything you just based your thing off of? Oh, he has 1, maybe 1. He has 5 All-Star appearances. Shut your mouth. What are you
Actually,
talking
he only appeared at 3. That's what the article said. He's a 5-time All-Star, but he only appeared at 3.
the hell out of here?
He's still got
No
the
one
All-Star
gives-
nod. He's still
Well,
got.
no one gives Jimmy respect. That's all I'm gonna say. No one gives Jimmy respect. I think
They
he's
never.
personally
Yeah, they
top
never put
10.
him amongst the
He's not
stars.
top
But
10.
he is one of those stars.
Why is Jimmy Butler not top 10?
Because he's not a top 10 player.
Because he's a top 5 defender.
No, he's not.
He's a top 10 playmaker, and he's a top 10 scorer.
He's not a top 10 playmaker. What?
I don't know about top
He's
10.
averaging
playmaker, but
9
defender, like
assists.
he's actually
He's
a great
averaging
defender.
9 assists.
I'd put
this
him in
season.
top 10 easy. Jimmy Butler would definitely go in my top 10 defenders.
He's top 10 defender, not top 5.
But still top 10 scorer and defender. That's still amazing.
Scorer? He's a top 10 scorer?
Isn't he? Isn't he putting up like a 25 a game or something like that?
He's put up 21, 7, and 7. But since he
I thought
came
he was
back,
averaging 9 assists. I thought he was averaging 9 assists.
since he came back from all the COVID protocol, he's been averaging 23, 9, and 9.
That's good. That's really good. No,
Yeah,
you can't see.
great.
No one can say anything about
Fantastic.
that. That's great.
Not a top 10 player.
Okay, and
Just
that's
like
your
Bam's
opinion.
not a top
My
5 young
opinion is
player.
better than your opinion. It's okay.
Because if he was a top 10 player, they would have won the championship.
But still, you gotta
What do you-
remember.
what do you want him to stop?
LeBron
Stop,
and AD
stop.
were taking that regardless.
No, stop. Listen. He
Yeah,
led,
you gotta remember
was
you're
the
going up
5
against
seed.
LeBron and AD.
He was the 5 seed last year.
Well,
and he
see,
led that team to the
no, that was a
he led
team
that
thing.
team to 6
Stop.
games in the finals.
Ryan, stop saying, "Oh, he did that." We do that with players where we say, "No, that was team success. That wasn't just him. That wasn't just
Yeah,
your
but
one
he
player
was
to
the
fit
leader
your
of the
narrative."
team. Without him, and players came out and said without him, they don't think they would have made it far because of his
Yeah.
passion for the game, out of his fire that
I
he
agree.
lit under all those young players.
That's
He
how they
has
won
that
2
CP3
games without
type of
Bam.
leadership.
And
He has
even
the Chris Paul
without
type of
Dragic and Adebayo, he had them get 2 wins against that star-studded
Thank
Lakers.
you for
lineup.
making my point. Adebayo is overrated. Is basically what you just said.
What?
That's what he just said. He said even without Adebayo and Dragic, he still won 2 games. So he diminished Adebayo. Just like I said, he's not a top 5 young player. Thank you.
He didn't diminish him. He just proved
not a
how
top
good
5 young
Jimmy
player.
Butler
I
is.
proved
When
how good
someone is
Jimmy was,
down,
but-
he can
but if he
step up
had
and
Bam,
take leadership
if
and make the team as
Bam
good
and
as they
Dragic
were.
fully
with them.
healthy for that finals, they are winning that finals.
Oh, you are crazy.
Yeah,
I
man.
Over
actually
LeBron
agree.
and
I
AD?
actually
Jimmy
agree.
Butler
If
would've walked into
Adebayo
that
was
bubble,
healthy for
He
that,
would have walked in
I
there. He
agree.
would have said
No.
LeBron. He would have said Le Bunny, Le Bum, Le GM. Give me this ring.
That is just not true.
I agree because Adebayo would have taken AD.
Oh my
He
God,
would've-
stop it. Dude,
Yeah.
there's not a player in the league that could check AD.
No, I'm not saying he would have outplayed him. I'm saying he would have taken him though. It would have been a good
Yeah,
matchup.
I could take AD.
Same
and
with
get
Jay-
30
same
points
with,
dropped on me. So can Adebayo.
Jimmy against LeBron. If everybody was healthy, they would have had a much bigger chance of success because they would have actually had good matchups against everybody on the Lakers roster.
Listen.
It's-
I don't think
it's-
it would have mattered.
it's-
'Cause you
it's-
have LeBron and Anthony Davis on the same team.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the answer. LeBron and Anthony Davis on the same team playing basketball together. That's a championship at least one time. And we saw
actually,
it last
speaking of
year.
that, so, I want to go back to the Western playoff preview. Now that Andre Drummond is with the Lakers, how is that going to affect because we didn't even think of this when we were talking about like how like the Nuggets would face up to him. How is that going to change their dynamic now with AD going to power forward and Andre staying at center? Are we going to see the Nuggets have a little more trouble because Gordon is now facing up against AD instead of Jokic?
I think
think you
AD
still
is
gotta
still
put
going to guard
Jokic.
Jokic.
Yeah, I think Jokic is still going to go against AD. Aaron Gordon, who's the bigger body, will go against Andre Drummond.
Okay, so
Of
you're not
course,
going to put
Andre
it with
Drummond-
size. You're gonna
Andre
put it with
Drummond's
size
bigger
going
than
both.
both of them, but I trust. Well, here's the thing: Andre Drummond's bigger than both of them, but Jokic has more. Like we said, Jokic is more of the offense, so
Mhm.
they're not going to hire him out as much on defense. Yes, he is playing AD, but think about it: LeBron's going to have the ball for most of the time. Schroeder's going to have the ball. Like Ronda's in the Clippers now, but Schroeder and LeBron are mostly going to run that ball. AD will get his touches, and when AD gets his touches, Jokic won't control the offense, which is fine. But for the most part, Jokic is going to control that offense if they face, which I do project the Nuggets being the 3 seed, the Lakers being the 6 seed. So I do expect this to be a playoff matchup.
That would be the best first round matchup ever. That would be insane.
I think it definitely goes 7.
It would be a
100%.
first round matchup that feels like a finals matchup with those two teams.
Yeah.
The year before it was a Western Conference Finals matchup. So
yeah.
I think
the Jazz get
the
upset.
Lakers are
definitely
going
goes
to
7,
out
and-
rebound the Nuggets,
my internet.
but the Nuggets are going to outscore the Lakers
Right.
because with Andre, you're just going to get more rebounds no matter what. He's known for grabbing boards, and it's not going to change no matter what team he's on. So I think Lakers will get more rebounds, but for the rebounds that the Lakers don't get, you know that the Nuggets are going to be converting those right into points. So it just depends on how well the Lakers can rebound
yeah,
their own misses
like
and the Nuggets
I
misses.
still think it's not going to matter that Drummond is going to grab all these boards. I still think the Lakers are going to win that series if they match up together. I think without Drummond they were still going to win it, and with Drummond they're going to win it even more decisively, I guess.
I think with Drummond, it brings him over the top because I just trust. So this is going to go 7 games.
For sure.
See
And
that?
I trust LeBron more than Jamal Murray and Jokic and all those guys. I really do. I mean, it's LeBron in the first round. If this is the first round matchup,
Yeah.
I do not expect LeBron to lose, especially if he's chasing the GOAT status that isn't inevitable and everyone wants him to do. He cannot lose in the first round. My GOAT does not lose in the first round.
I completely agree.
So,
But I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be the outlier here. I feel like the Nuggets are going to take it. It's still going to go to 7 games, but I feel like the Nuggets just have more scoring options than the Lakers. And
Does that
I
matter,
think they
though?
also
I
have
love
a
the Nuggets
deeper
team.
bench than the Lakers.
Does that
too.
matter when you have LeBron and Anthony Davis?
I
on
know,
the
but
court,
when you
playing basketball,
you're going to
together.
have the
well,
points
here's the
more
thing too.
separated
AD
out.
hasn't been playing his best basketball.
Because
AD has not played.
when you have LeBron, AD, and Drummond all guarding your best players, the Nuggets have the options to pass it out to the players that are not being guarded to them and score still very efficiently. They have that option, unlike other teams that have just 3 big stars and then some role players on there. The Nuggets, like I said, they're a system. If 3 parts of that system shut down, you're still going to have 2 parts of the system still producing stuff. It's not going to be a total shutdown if you take out the 3 top players. You're still going to have a lot of points coming from the players that are not the top 3 on the team.
I don't know about that.
So
I think
they're
Will
going to have.
Barton is going to give them 25 if they need it.
Especially the bench.
He's a
Barton is going to I think he'll put up 10. Monte Morris is still a great playmaker. They have a lot of options aside from the starting 5
And
that
again,
will be
they
able to
have
score
Michael
for
Porter
them
Jr.
when they're facing the bench unit of the Lakers.
I think the Nuggets are going to plateau until Michael Porter Jr. becomes better than Jamal Murray.
Which is coming. It's very close.
I think
it's very close.
I think their ceiling with Jamal Murray as their second best player is Western Conference Finals, like we saw last year. I think if Michael Porter Jr. takes the reins as the duo partner with Jokic, and then Murray is that third scoring option, who could get you buckets as a third scorer. That's
a championship team.
Yeah, I think that's a championship team.
Because if
Michael Porter can,
because you already see what Jamal Murray and Jokic are averaging right now. If you take Porter and move him up to 22, 25 points a game, that's just a scoring offense that you cannot stop.
Yeah, I agree. I think
And
that would make them title contenders.
if he picks it up defensively, he's 6'8". He has a 7-foot wingspan.
He's 6'10". He's 6'10".
6'10".
Yeah.
6'10". So
Like I said,
excuse me,
they have that
6'10",
height too.
7-foot wingspan. If he can play defense, because he's not going to be the number one scoring option. Obviously, Murray and Jokic are still going to be the number one and number two scoring options. All he has to do is be more efficient with his shots, which he has shown this year he's stepping up and doing.
Right.
If he can pick up his defense now, if he can lock up the best defender in the West, especially Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Damian Lillard,
Mitchell,
Donovan Mitchell,
Devin Booker,
Steph Curry, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. Woo. Ingram over Zion.
Aaron Gordon would guard Zion.
Yes.
Which,
yeah.
I mean,
with Aaron Gordon's
really
body,
guard
that would be a solid matchup.
Do you really guard Zion?
It's a team effort to guard Zion when he's in the post.
And even then, Zion just goes no.
Well, he just has that pogo stick ability where he'll miss a shot or get blocked and just
he'll
get
be able
it
to go right back
up with it.
Yeah.
But
Zion
once again, like why I also brought up the Drummond thing is I want to bring it up again. The Nuggets have the height to go against many teams, especially with Zion.
I don't think height
because
matters.
you're.
I'm gonna be honest.
They're not going to need as much help because you have a 6'10" guy, and then you call in another 6'10" guy, and you're going to be able to. It's going to be very easy help defense against shorter, but still premier scorers.
I think it's more about skill set than size, man. I think that like you could have as many tall guys or short guys. If they're skilled at what they do, that's what matters more than just height and size. Listen, it's skill. It's all about skill and how you defend, how you play, how you fit your role. Like as you could see, like if you can fit your role correctly, you can go really deep in the NBA. That's what happened with the Heat last year. They all played their roles phenomenally well. Now, individually, they're really, they're good talents, but they're not like Hall of Fame talents. They're not like LeBron's, Kawhi's, AD's, but these are some really great players, great pieces. And when they fit together and they all play cohesively as a unit, you see what they can do. That's what I see from the Nuggets. I don't care about their size. I don't care if that's all just like, that's just word of mouth type stuff. I want to see on the court what their skill does together, how they feed off each other. That's what matters more. And the Nuggets are very cohesive. If Michael Porter can become that second scoring option, put up 22 a game, I think they can be championship, like real contenders and actually beat anybody in the league.
That's why I see them going so far, because a lot of people on that team, not even just the starters, they all have the skill. It's still a young team. They still have a lot of young players, but in like even give it like 2 years, once those players start to develop into the stars that like they can become, there's going to be talent all around that team, on the starting five, on the bench. There's going to be talent everywhere, and it's just going to be a nonstop rotation of potential starters. Like you can put like half of the bench, you can put them in a starting position and it would fit perfectly.
Yeah, like Will Barton, Monte
Exactly.
Morris, what's his name? Campazzo, I think.
Frank Pazzo, yeah.
Yeah, he can play. He can dish the ball out. He's a very good passer. They got some players for sure.
So, yeah, I think it's possible that we see Denver going further into the playoffs than we think they will. I see them going at least to the Western Conference Championship.
Again, if they face the Lakers, and the Lakers or Clippers, those are the two teams I see beating the Nuggets. If the Nuggets do not face the Lakers or Clippers in this playoffs, you can expect the Nuggets to be in the championship.
I'm still going to ride with them because I have faith in the Nuggets. I really do.
The Suns, in this order, this is my Western Conference contenders: Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Nuggets, Jazz, Portland.
I'd say that because I like the Suns up high.
I take the Suns over Nuggets.
Yeah,
slightly, but
they're on a different level right now.
Yeah, they're playing unbelievable.
They literally cannot be stopped by most teams.
Yeah, and their defense is phenomenal. They have everything. Great coach, great system. They look great.
Their entire team is basically 3-and-D.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic
The
basketball to
highest
watch.
option of scoring and just amazing defense.
Right.
Got everything going.
I mean, they just broke the Warriors 3-point record the other day in the first
Yeah,
half.
I saw that.
In the first half?
18. Or it was the first half field goal record, and
Hmm.
they beat it by 1. Donovan Mitchell hit it with like a minute left in the second quarter. So these guys have been shooting all year, and yes, I do expect the defense to become tighter in the playoffs, but that's not going to. These guys are all shooting over 40%, and they can all play defense. And I can trust the Jazz defense more than the Suns. I can trust their defense more than the Nuggets. Do I trust them more than the Clippers or Lakers? No.
No.
Yeah, but either way, we're going to see each of those top 6 teams. We're going to see at least 3 of them make very, very deep playoff runs. We don't know which. That's the thing about the West this year. We don't know which 3. They all have a very big possibility.
The reason why we've talked about the West this whole time is because the East, it's Nets.
It's already basically set in stone.
Like, I don't want to. It's not being a dick or anything, but the Nets are throwing out an all-star team. What else do you want us to do?
Yeah.
We already know it's going to be either the Sixers, the Nets, the Celtics, or the Bucks. Those are the 4 teams coming out of the East, and that's what we're going to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I knew it.
All right. Well.
All right.
It was a fun show.
So that was our East talk for today.
Yeah, so much for the East.
Yeah.
So much for the East.
We'll do that. We'll do that a couple episodes from now.
Yeah, for
we'll
sure.
mention them.
You gotta win the play-in games before you can even compete in the playoffs. Come on now.
Yeah, good point.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That was a joke. That was a goddamn joke.
Don't underestimate Brad.
I will.
Has been
He outcoached the coach of the year, Nick Nurse, last year in the playoffs. So
Shut up.
He did.
But everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. This was FGs and Threes, episode number 5. It's a great episode. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Have a good one.
Hey fans. See you later.